And like, there's like, oh, I'm still an active shooter. I think there's bombs everywhere. My mom was freaking out. I canceled my flight to New York. And they ended up sending me to Baylor Hospital. And I'm like, had no idea what to do. This is like a couple months after, not even weeks after I graduated. And they're like, okay, we just need you to go talk to victims' families and try to book them to be on the morning show tomorrow. It's like, are you kidding me? So there's literally these people who are coming out of the hospital and either their husbands or wives have just died or been shot. And I'm like, hi, I'm Rebekah with CBS News National. Would you like, talk to me? Yeah, it was the hardest thing I've ever done. I ended up freelancing for them for 8 days, and they sent me all over Dallas trying to book people for interviews. So like I went to the shooter's mom's house and like knocked on the door and she called the police and they threatened to arrest me for trespassing, but that was different. But anyway, so they sent me all over to different police officers' houses who'd been shot to ask them if they would come do an interview on CBS this morning. We ended up booking one interview, and they flew Gayle King. You guys know who Gayle King is? Just Oprah Winfrey's best friend. People know her that better than apparently on CBS this morning. But they flew Gayle King in to do an interview that I booked, which was really cool. But yeah, it was like an amazing opportunity. It was the hardest thing I've ever done because I don't know if you guys are in Tony's ethics class, but if he's done the grief lecture yet, but he has this one lecture that Pam comes and does and talks about grief. And that's what I was thinking about that whole week is how do you, when you have to go up to someone's door who's just been shot and their people in their unit have been killed, and you have to ask them, and you have to do it. That's your job. But it was so hard, but also so rewarding because people need to share their story, and that's part of healing. How Dallas heals, how the people heal, how the nation heals from tragedies. The media plays a really important role in that. But it's hard, and like that lecture Pam gave my freshman year was just like playing in my head because anyway, it was really hard.
And then after that, shortly thereafter, you were already supposed to be in New York, about to work for Fox.
I had a job with Fox lined up, but some stuff happened, and it was with Fox had some executive changes, so I moved to New York, and the job I thought I didn't have anymore. So I was in New York and unemployed with a really expensive apartment to pay for.
With 3 other girls.
Yeah, and so I called CBS, and I was like, hey, any chance, because I told them after I freelanced that I already had a job at Fox, and I said, any chance you guys have a job for me? And so they said, we'd love to have you. And so they interviewed me, which was amazing that I got that opportunity because if I hadn't done freelance for them, that door wouldn't have been there. But then while I was waiting, going through the interview process with CBS, Fox called back, said, we found something for you, and we want you to start tomorrow. And they called me on a Thursday, and I started on Friday. So it was crazy. And now I work 7 to 7 every day, and it's really long days, but it's really fun, and especially in election season. So,
any question, any words of wisdom,
just take every opportunity. Yeah.
How many people would actually talk to you? Like when you went to the hospitals and stuff like that?
They weren't pleased. They would talk to you, but they're like, we're not talking to the media. We're not talking to the media. And unfortunately, you had to be persistent. Like, I went back to the same police officer's house 4 days in a row. Knock on the door. Hi, it's Rebekah again. No, I already told you I'm not talking to you. But then some of them eventually did. Or we would meet their family member. Like a family member would answer the door, and you're like, can you try to convince the family member to talk to them? And then sometimes they would call back. They'd call, and they'd always take your card and then call and say, yeah, well, we've thought about it and we want to do it now. So, no, but just advice would be just take every opportunity, small things. If it, I run this lady's social media who's on Fox News. Her name's Monica Crowley, and I got connected with her in college because a professor here said, hey, I have a friend. If you're interested, you could talk to her about your career. Sure, it turns out her friend was the former CEO of the Huffington Post, who knew this lady, Monica Crowley, and connected me, and I got to run her social media, and she helped me get in the door at Fox. So just take every opportunity. It might seem like, oh, it's just a phone call with whoever, or a coffee, or someone gives you their card, always follow up, stay in touch, because you never know how things are going to come together. Like at the CBS thing, you never know, and it'll all come together. So just take every opportunity meet as many people as you can and stay in contact with them. So.
Rebekah's a star. Rebekah's a star.
I got to run to the doctor. Oh, yeah. What's
Did you have your hand? No,
no,
you just
sorry,
do it going through your head.
sorry.
All right.